Just as SpaceX launched the second largest live streaming event in YouTube history, we talk about the technology of streaming and what's ahead. Hi, I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet, and joining me is Dave Stubenvoll. He is the co-founder and CEO of Wowza Media Systems. Welcome, Dave.
Hi, Sonia. How are you today?
I'm good. So talk a little about what does Wowza Media Systems do and who are some of your customers?
Wowza is a software company focused on streaming video. We've been shipping for about 10 years, and now we provide software, cloud services, and hardware to provide the gold standard of streaming video across the industry. We have about 22,000 customers, including about 40% of content delivery networks, 70% of the enterprise video platforms. Folks as diverse as SpaceX and NASA to the Pope and the Kardashians all use Wowza to deliver media.
SpaceX Falcon Heavy launched yesterday. YouTube said it was one of their largest streaming events. How was Wowza involved in bringing that to the public?
SpaceX has used Wowza for years, and about 6, 7 years ago, we got the tour of the plant. As a former mechanical engineer, that was awesome. But they use us not only as the origin to deliver to consumers, and then they'll use YouTube for that wide-scale distribution. We're also used in mission control and launch control. These are critical services that require the ultimate in stability and assurance in order to make sure that those launches go off without a hitch.
So, streaming trivia, you're involved with HQ as well, which is pretty popular right now. What size server farm does it take to support some of your larger customers, and how much bandwidth do those servers use when, especially, you have such wide usage?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It depends upon the type of video that you're using. Wowza is in some ways a Swiss Army knife for video. You could throw us anything and we can deliver anything. We'll do all the transcoding, adaptive bitrate, everything that's required. If you're using normal HTTP delivery, a single Wowza server can serve into a CDN network and distribute to tens of millions concurrently from a single server. So it's one server as the origin and they fan it all out. If you're doing low latency video, which content delivery networks really can't handle very well, then you need to put Wowza on the edge. And for each Wowza server, we can pretty much saturate the internet connection that it has. So if you have a gigabit internet connection and you're delivering 1 meg video, it's about 1,000 concurrents on that network. So we'll saturate what you've got in live video, and depending upon how wide your audience is, you could either go through a CD network, content delivery network, or go directly. We have customers that are like going through Akamai, hitting huge audiences off of a single Wowza server. And then we've got other folks doing low latency video with farms of 1,000, 2,000 servers.
You have pretty big clients, though. When you talk about Twitch, you've got Facebook is a brand new relationship for you. I mean, that's pretty significant. How do you handle clients and live streaming to that magnitude?
It's kind of crazy. So believe it or not, up to 2.5 years ago, we had a very skeletal support crew. We only took in email, US business hour support. Wowza is a global business. About a third of our customers are in North America, a third in Europe, and a third in Asia. And it just works. It is a rock solid piece of software that, today we have 24/7 support, and we're able to help these guys get what they need done, because live video, it's either going to work now or you've lost the moment. The core of our ability to be able to provide for these wide ranging customers is the stability of our software.
Are more people moving to the cloud for transcoding, or are they still using on-premise software and hardware these days?
So you definitely get a mix. It doesn't make too much sense to deliver all your adaptive bitrate streams from your location unless you've got a boatload of extra bandwidth. So transcoding in the cloud, getting those adaptive bitrate streams for delivery to those who need it is a better way to solve that problem, especially if you've got any decent size audience. The cost of transcoding in the cloud is pretty low. So that allows you to make the best use of your bandwidth. So your top quality stream can be absolutely the top quality. And you're not soaking up bandwidth with the 500 kilobit stream for folks that are on sketchy networks.
So then what are the biggest technical challenges? I mean, is it for streaming, is it bandwidth? Is it quality? Is it playback? Is it, security?
The biggest challenge for live event producers is that first mile, right? Making sure you've got that that internet connection that's going to support what you need to send up. And really, it's about getting all of the encoding parameters correct and the packaging correct. During the eclipse, NASA, rocket scientists we're talking about here, were sending to YouTube and to Facebook, and their Facebook stream kept failing because they had the wrong settings. They were using the YouTube settings for Facebook, right? Rocket scientists can't get this right. And that getting all those parameters right, you switch from a Bluetooth mic to a wired mic, some of your encoding parameters need to change. If you don't do that right, it's not going to play well through the system and it's going to fail. These are simple things that really get in the way and can destroy an event. And actually, that's the core of our relationship with Facebook and our delivery of the Clearcaster product. It's making sure that everything happens flawlessly for the Facebook network.
Piracy has continued to be at the forefront of concern for content creators. I mean, I may not want to purchase as a consumer the entire network, but I might want to watch one of the shows. For example, AMC, I like watching Walking Dead. So piracy is a big problem. So I guess my question is then, what are the piracy and security issues involved in streaming for both not just the content provider, but the content consumer as well?
It's a really tough problem. Consumers are in a moral hazard, right? They have reasons to go one way and other reasons to do the right thing. So it's a constant problem. We do see a reasonable amount of piracy that's going on, copyrighted content being delivered by folks that are not authorized to deal with it. And so, from our aspect, the DMCA takedowns are all the mechanical things that you do to attack the problem. There's another problem when you do have the rights to stream something, right? A issue came up recently where a fashion show had the music rights, but all of the social platforms shut them down because they didn't know they had the music rights. And so you're getting, consumers in the end are getting squeezed by illicit content that they are, have certain incentives to go and seek, as well as legitimate content that is copyright cleared that inadvertently gets shut down because the system's not working all the way through. And I think, this is a fascinating thing. I think this is an opportunity where the blockchain might be of use for blockchain contracts, not cryptocurrencies, where, how do you guarantee that, yes, I really own this contract, I own this content, I am cleared to distribute it, and I can let it go, or I can effectively post a bond or something like that in order to guarantee that it goes through. So I think we'll begin to see new products and services that enable that chain of title all the way through. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
So in the speaking of new kinds of technology, are there applications then for artificial intelligence in streaming?
Absolutely. So even with copyright protection, right? You've got fingerprinting and ways to identify content, closed captioning, which is engagement for content that is closed captioned goes up dramatically, and it's expensive to do that with humans. And it's a great way for artificial intelligence to do that speech to text and get good closed captioning automatically, very economically. Machine vision, we see this in the security space all the time. What's an object? What's an object that's moving? Is it doing something bad? There are multiple layers of artificial intelligence that can be applied to video and audio that dramatically enhances the quality of it. It takes it from a moving image to true data that can then be acted upon.
There's been a lot of consolidation of media through acquisitions. So I guess, are we looking at maybe, and do you expect more from the streaming market going forward?
In an M&A context, I think so. I mean, we've seen Wowza powers a lot of companies. We've seen a lot of our customers get taken out. Recently, Vimeo bought Livestream, and there's two Wowza customers that got married. It was kind of a sweet thing. But as the industry matures, you've got different areas around content and creation. And you've got behemoths that are really making big differences there. The whole content creation aspect, I think, is going to mature and belong with larger businesses. The technology needs to make sure that it gets out there and gets appropriately distributed. I think we're going to see more acquisitions on that side as well.
You guys have a lot moving forward to handle with some of the biggest clients out there that are providing live streaming. It's continuing to grow, and I think we're all very interested in the direction of content creation in the future. Thanks so much for giving us some insight on the live streaming world, Dave. If somebody wants to connect with you, how can they go about doing that?
You can reach us on the web at wowza.com or on various social media at either at Wowza Media or Wowza Media Systems.
And thanks again for joining me. If you want to find more of my interviews, you can do that right here on ZDNet, or you can find me on Tech Republic. Maybe you want to connect with me on Twitter. I'd love that. I'm at Tonya Hall Radio on Twitter, or find me on Facebook by searching for The Tonya Hall Show. Until next time.